Okay, so we're looking at the top side of the engine here. Obviously, this is an E320 wagon. It's a 95. I've just got done doing the EGR valve tube cleaning process. The EGR valve tubes on these cars are infamously known for becoming very clogged with this sooty, gelatinous, black tarry substance. And the most common point in this tube of blockage is right on the combustion side of the engine, right underneath the intake manifold that you see here. So basically, to get access to these bolts, because as you can see they are buried very well down in there, you're going to need a 6-inch socket extension, 10mm on the end of the socket. You're going to need it to use something that is sort of short and stubby, and that swivels here, as you can see on the head. This ratchet will swivel vertically so that you can position yourself in this tight space. I wouldn't recommend using anything other than this setup right here. Just very, very easy. So you can crack it by hand, just by turning it maybe a quarter turn. Once you get it loose, go ahead and grab your air tool. You're going to be using 90-degree air tool, and it plugs on perfectly. You have the perfect amount of room to get in there, and go ahead and finish that with the air tool. The threads are many on these bolts, and it takes a lot of turns. Be patient. They're not very long bolts, but there are a lot of threads on them. Very, very shallow pitch. So just be patient when you're getting this side out. Now you're going to have to be really patient taking out the bolt, which you can't see from this access point. You're going to have to be really patient taking out the bolt on the right hand side of the EGR tube. The only way to do that is from underneath the car, directly underneath from where I am, right about here. So get comfortable, get a nice padded creeper, get your car up on some ramps, get it up high enough so that you have enough elbow room to get in there. You're going to be using 10mm again, and you're going to want to use the newer ratcheting style box end wrench. Trust me, you don't want to take that wrench off and put it back on again with a conventional box end wrench. You're going to want to leave it on there, and just to be able to comfortably ratchet that bolt out. There's quite a bit of resistance on it, as that pipe is got some tension on it. So that's this side. This side over here on the exhaust side, very self-explanatory. As you can see, I've already taken the entire EGR valve out, but basically take your, as you can see, my one of the pipes for my air cleaner in the intake has been removed, and you're going to want to do that so you can get your hands in there, get plenty of access. So go ahead and take the entire EGR valve out. You're going to be using a 19mm box end wrench for that, and you're looking at basically 3 fittings, 1, 2, 3, well, 4 actually, and then one 10mm bolt that affixes to this mount right here on the engine that I'm pointing to right here. Okay. Basically that's it for getting the pipes open so that you can start and get underway on actually cleaning the tube. Now the way to do that, spray some carb cleaner right down this end of the tube. Before you do that, make sure you get the combustion side tube removed. Pull the pipe out. It only will come out just a bit. This is a very rigid piping, not very flexible. Take that pipe out and just move it to the side of the combustion chamber. Just move it away from the hole, because you don't want all the crud going into the combustion chamber, for obvious reasons. I hope you understand why that is. Once that's set aside, then you go ahead and spray the carb cleaner in there. Carb cleaner works really good. I know folks have tried other things, but that's what worked for me in this process. You've got to let that stuff soak for several hours. It is rock hard before that carb cleaner even touches it, and it is immovable. If you try to go in too early with the roto device which I'll show you here in a minute, is going to bind on you, and you will not have any success taking care of that blockage. So the way we do that, we let it soak, and we're going to use this stuff right here. This is just speedo cable, speedometer cable. You can get it at any auto parts store. It's $7 or $10. They give you ample length. Basically, what you want to do, I'll show you. You take one of the ends here and you fray it. You get all the wire that's wound very tightly around this cable. You pull it loose with some needle nose pliers and you fray it. And that allows some agitation and some scraping and some cleaning to go on, and some boring as well once you get in there and you start cleaning this. So I'm just going to show you real quick how this works. Get this, pardon the camera jiggle there. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to put it in here. You go all the way down until it binds. When you hit the bends, it's going to get a little tight, but keep pushing and it'll poke through, rather it will continue on down the tubing, and then it is going to bind. You will not be able to push it any further, not even with all your might. At that point, go ahead and connect it to your cordless drill. I'm going to put the camera down for a second here, and go ahead and plug it in just directly with your drill. And basically, I think you get the idea. You just let this guy run, and it's going to do that inside the tube there. And the part that you have frayed is going to be cleaning out and hopefully boring through the clog that is in the combustion side of the tube. So be patient. You know, it took me like 4 or 5, even 6 tries to get through completely. And each time I would pull the cable out, and there would be this black tarry substance, this resin type substance on this end right here. It was covered in it. So you remove that with a cloth, go back in again, you repeat the process. The other tool that is very important that I have not shown yet in this process is compressed air. Very important. And the method that I recommend for doing this, I think really will work best. Let me locate my air tool first so that I can show you exactly what I did. What you're going to want to do is get your basic air nozzle, just like we have here, and connect some vacuum tubing to the end of it like I've done here. Okay. Take the other end of the vacuum tubing and taper it. Just get a razor. You see how that's tapered there? Just get a razor and taper it on the outside, carve away some of that rubber. Then this guy, and this is really important, you cannot allow any backflow of air or this just will not work. And then tapering that allows it to plug in to the tube down here. I know you can't really see that. See if I can locate my light here. I think you get the idea. This creates a seal on this tube here. A perfect seal. Doesn't allow any back pressure. There we go. Okay. So, you know, get your compressor fully charged up, and then spray compressed air. That's the very first thing I would do, just to verify the blockage first off. And then as you go along in the process, each time you go in there and let it soak and you roto-rooter it, try spraying some more air. And when it finally does clear, you will hear something akin to a mini mortar as that gunk is cleared from the lines, and then you will hear the sweet sound of free-flowing, whooshing compressed air moving freely through the pipes. Beautiful sound. And that's the whole point of this procedure right here. Compressed air, 10mm wrenches, 19mm wrenches, some carburetor cleaner, some vacuum tubing like you see here, you know, and you know, get comfortable. It's going to take a while to complete this process. It is well worth it.